Welcome to your new home in McAllen, Texas.
This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily asset. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this motel to apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee.
Y no se preocupe, nosotros hablamos español. Go ahead and go to studiosonfourth.com, check out the floor plans that we have available, and submit your information. And just a friendly reminder, we have everything included: sewer, water, trash, electric, utilities, even fiber high-speed internet. Submit your info and we'll get back to you. Welcome home.
Hello. Hello. We are live. How's everybody doing today? Andrew, can you hear me? Looks like he cannot hear me. Welcome to our webinar. This is our weekly motel to apartment conversions webinar. In this webinar, we go through project updates. And we talk about important things that we're seeing in the industry. So I'm Jake Lemesqua. Andrew LeBaron is my business partner, and we're Hotel to Apartment Conversions. Just to give you guys an introduction on, if you haven't been here before or don't know who we are, Andrew and I met each other about 11 years ago, I think now. We served missions for our church. Oh boy, I see two of you. There you go. We served missions for our church together in Chile. We lived in Chile for 2 years, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. It was amazing. Best experience ever. Best decision that I've made. I think Andrew could say the same. And we connected then, and Andrew went directly into real estate right after he got back from his mission. I went to college, and we reconnected 3 years ago and decided that we should partner up. Because Andrew had done a couple of hotel to apartment conversions already. I was very interested, and the rest is history. So here we are now with 2 projects underway and more to come. So
Here we are.
Always get to reminisce.
Yeah, we met in the mission field, as Jacob already mentioned, and we're realizing today that that's our true why: serving our Savior Jesus Christ. So you're going to hear that more and more from us. We're very unapologetic and unashamed about the gospel. And if you are ever curious to learn more about what we believe and get to know Jesus Christ more, please reach out to us. We are an open book, and we are a safe space. I also invite people to church every Sunday. So if you are in the Chandler, Phoenix, Gilbert, Mesa area in the East Valley, and you want to go to church, I will take you personally. We will go together. So just a little shout out to our faith and our true why: family, Christ, and really serving others. Well, guys, thanks for joining us today. And Jacob already mentioned, post your comments. Where are you from? Put it inside the chat. If you are on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, post it. Everybody can hear me okay, right?
Yep, we can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna jump right into this. We have a really exciting presentation for y'all today. We're gonna talk about how it's changing, how the motel to apartment conversion world is changing communities, reshaping local housing markets. Everybody knows that the sky is falling. We'll go over our projects first before we jump into this, but we're going to be talking about how local housing markets are suffering and what our solution does to growing MSAs and local housing markets. So without further ado, let's jump right into some of these projects. We got some really cool stuff happening in the McAllen project. This project is trucking. We're doing really well. We're actually talking to another sales group that's going to help us lease up all the way. We're almost there. We're about more or less 65 to 75% occupied. Probably by the end of the next week and a half, we'll be 100% full. It's an exciting time because it is the winter season. Winter Texans flock like birds to South Texas. So there should be no reason why this thing shouldn't be full here pretty darn soon. It's 29 units. We're refinancing right now with a private lender. And this private lender actually was one of our original investors. Says, I love the deal so darn much. I want more of it. And he's coming in for seconds. So he's going to come work with us on the private lending side. He thought, why give it to a bank when I want that? So anyways, we're working with him. Should be refinanced here pretty darn soon. And then we can work on some longer term financing down the road. For the Brownsville project, we are still finalizing some supply chain, some procurement lists, and then obviously a draw schedule. We're just about there. It's been a lot of back and forth. We're redrafting some new documents because the city wants us to. We're being extremely patient, and we're ensuring that our architect is combing over this with a fine-tooth comb. So we're just about there. We're going to start hitting some walls here pretty darn soon. So they say in development, we're going to go vertical soon. In this case, we're already vertical because we just adapt reuse. So kind of nice.
Yeah, and we could do a whole episode on private lending. I think we're going to see more and more of it, especially in this world, this adaptive reuse world. It's tricky getting financing on these things, and I think lenders are private lenders, private investors are becoming more and more interested in lending on something that is a fixed return with a guaranteed asset. So I love private lending. I love receiving private lending from from our investors. Is great, easier to work with, feels good to give investors a guaranteed return with a securitized asset. And anyway, I think we're going to see more and more. So mark that down.
That's right. Yeah, private lending is a huge piece of our business. It's kind of hard to work with a ton of banks in the adaptive reuse space simply because they don't see the same vision that you do or that we do. Playing around with some of the layouts here. Gabby, sorry if you want to fix that. I'm actually going to share my screen again. We're going to get, actually, it still says I'm sharing it.
Yeah, let me do one more plug for private lending. If you are an investor, if you're looking to place capital and you just want a fixed return, we just reach out to us. It's we do, for example, for this McAllen property on the refinance, we're offering 11% fixed, 11% rate, and it's first lien position, and so you don't have to wait for a sale or a refinance on the property. I mean, you could place your money now and start getting 11% every single month. And so lending's great. Private lending's great. If you're interested in doing that, we have some opportunities for private lending, and I would love to speak with you. Just let us know.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacob. We got some exciting things on the horizon, some stuff we really can't talk about just quite yet because we're buttoning up a few different outlines and agreements and ventures, but stay tuned. The next 2 months are going to be a wild ride. It's going to be great. But without further ado, let's jump right into our topic today. And that's all about how motel to apartment or hotel to apartment conversions are helping reshape the community. In this case, we see increasing affordable housing supply because of our efforts. Just so you know, what we're offering at the McAllen and the Brownsville property actually is a little more affordable, if you could believe it, long term, all utilities included, everything in one package than a single family property or than even an apartment. But you're going to get an affordable luxury product, washer, dryer, fiber internet, 65-inch screen TV. You got it all and furnished for less than what you would pay normally in an apartment complex where you have to call the gas company, turn on the gas. You have to call the electric, turn on the electric. You got to call and pay these massive deposits, so on and so forth. Tenants absolutely despise it. With us, that's not the case. So we are increasing that affordable housing supply through our efforts. Identifying suitable motels is a piece of it. We do have to work with local authorities to find out what is underutilized, what's an eyesore, what do they want to see in the community. And I think we're going to be able to find that more and more as it gets more difficult to get funding and lending. A lot of these municipalities are going to say, hey, we want you to come in because we know you're raising equity. We know you're raising money. And we know banks aren't easy to work with. So we're going to work with you. And we're seeing that more and more. The renovation and conversion, motels undergo extensive renovations. These things are being gutted. For the McAllen 29 unit, we pulled it apart. We broke it down. And we started from scratch. And then once they're transformed into livable apartment units that are still cheaper than market rate, that's where the magic begins. Everybody starts telling their friends and family, and it fills up pretty quick. And then we obviously have these converted motel, hotel to apartment units integrating into neighborhoods. You know, the McAllen 29 unit is in a neighborhood. One of the beautiful things about it is it's not on a main freeway. It's not a main road either. It's literally nestled inside of a neighborhood. Right next door, you have single family homes. You got neighbor kids walking down the street. People have a semblance or they have a feeling of unity and community, even though this was a motel before or a hotel.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're finding that it really fills a huge need, and you know, we don't pigeonhole ourselves, but the most interest is from midterm or midterm renters. You know, people want to go month to month or 3 to 6 months, and it's wonderful for us because you know we can charge less than a hotel charges. It's a great option for them. They're not paying as much as they would for an extended stay or an Airbnb. And at the same time, you know, we are able to collect an elevated rent for an apartment complex. And if we have apartments, we wouldn't be able to collect as much. But it's a great solution for them, and it's really just filling a need where there wasn't a good option before. But flexible living in an apartment is just, I think, the future. We're seeing a huge demand for it.
I do want to ad lib real quick. I know here on this target demographics, it does state low income. Low income, funny enough, today means something totally different than 2-3 years ago. Low income today is honestly the sky's falling, the crash is here. You know, everyone's kind of low income, but doesn't mean they're low income individuals. Also, this model, the motel or hotel to apartment conversion model, works for what Jacob just said. Our target niche is the midterm rental group. The demographic that we really serve is, funny enough, traveling medical professionals. We have a few hospitals in McAllen, and you know, they love our offering. We are not that expensive Marriott Residence Inn, where they're going to pay $2,800 to $3,400 a month for less product, for less amenities, so on and so forth. We're going to be better quality, more attentive for a much more affordable rate. So really, you can't compete with this. And the midterm rental aspect of it is not low income. It's not your top tier luxury either. It's right in the middle. And there's a lot of those nomadic entrepreneurs or traveling corporate employees or traveling medical professionals that are flying around the country looking for product just like this. In fact, we know this because we just saw a product similar sell to Wyndham Hotels, and that's Waterwalk. I mean, that's who they serve, the mid upper scale demographic and footprint. So pretty exciting. Pretty exciting seeing this evolution happen in neighborhoods across the US. We're seeing a major impact right now. What these conversions are doing to neighborhoods and cities, they're providing that housing supply that the city or the communities didn't have, and it's also not even competitive, right? When I guess what I meant to say is it's wildly competitive. You know, no one can really compete with the offering that you're going to get in a converted hospitality asset. We're seeing increased affordable units, which is great. And, you know, it does have a potential market saturation. This is something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. It's something that, for example, the Airbnb market is struggling with right now. Is John has an Airbnb, his sister next door has an Airbnb, his cousin around the corner, same block, same neighborhood, has an Airbnb. And then their son, who's 13 years old, is going to Airbnb the couch, you know, and I'm being kind of funny, but everybody and their dog has an Airbnb. So you have oversaturation of the market. Simultaneously, you have excess spending way down, consumer spending way down due to a difficult economic time frame that we're in. I know interest rates softened a little bit, or they lowered a little bit, but still, jobs reports are showing an all-time high. Excuse me, job loss reports or no jobs reports is showing an all-time high. So unemployment, excuse me, is the word I was looking for. And you're going to see less travel, but most of these Airbnbs that are vacant right now, they can't keep up with the payment. They can't keep up, you know, they're single family homes. So they're either selling their property or they're getting foreclosed on. Foreclosures are way up. Now you got these Motel to apartment conversion inventory floating around, offering the same exact thing that, you know, an Airbnb might offer, even on a residential level without a contract. And again, you just can't compete with our product.
Yeah, if you think about it, let's take an Airbnb. You look at a home mortgage. I mean, let's just look at Texas. What are you paying for a home mortgage? Let's look at McAllen specifically. A home mortgage could be $1,500 to $2,000, right? Relatively. I mean, it's reasonable.
It's the taxes.
Yeah, the taxes get you. Airbnb income that comes into a home, it has to at least get $1,500 a month just to even break even, right? $1,500 to $2,000 a month just to even break even on the mortgage. If you're renting it out at $100 a day, like you have to have 15 days that your Airbnb is full just to cover the mortgage on your house. Whereas for us, our mortgage on McAllen, it is a little under $5,000, and we have 29 units. And so it's you know, we could fill each unit 2 days and fill it for $100 just for 2 days. If each unit just got 2 days, I mean, we'd more than cover the mortgage. And so it's a pretty remarkable opportunity just compared to a house. I mean, from an investment standpoint, really doesn't compare to a house when we have low leverage like this. And so I think that's the power of running it like we're running it as kind of a hybrid mid to long term stay, because it's, you know, we make up our debt service really quickly, and from there it's just all profit.
Awesome. We do have a comment here by Philip Zwig. And Philip, I actually know who you are. You're a flipper, wholesaler, rental entrepreneur in Phoenix, Arizona. He says he loves the midterm biz. We do too. It's a great market to be in. It's a higher yield than your typical rental. You know, it's not luxury. It's right there in the middle. I mean, I guess it can be luxury, but you got to be competitive still. Phoenix is a very competitive market, but so good to hear from you, Philip. and we love it too. There's, long-term considerations and recommendations. You got to be careful if you're going to jump into the game. If you're going to jump into the motel hotel conversion to long-term apartments or long-term stay. For many listening, they probably already have either a motel hotel, or a lot of our viewers and listeners are hoteliers. You have to realize that now that you are changing that use, or rather you are adapting to a different style of tenant or resident, rather, you got to think about maintenance. You have to think about the marketing. The marketing kind of changes a little bit. You got to keep your eye on both short-term and long-term. That's something that I don't think have cracked the code on. Something that we're still working on is really balancing the two. We are on the long-term sites. We're on Zillow, we're on apartments.com, but we're also on booking.com, Expedia, Priceline, Hopper. We're on all the short-term stuff, even Airbnb. We're on the long-term stuff. So it's that balance. It is, I don't think anybody's perfected it. I think there's a few out there that do it really well. I think one notable company I think has done a great job thus far is WaterWalk. They stay above, for the most part, 80% occupancy, and their OpEx, or operating expenditures, or excuse me, their operating expenses are usually around 30-35%, which is phenomenal. That blows my mind. So, you have to have that in mind when you jump into this. It's a totally different business.
Yeah, and for us, I guess just to kind of summarize the strategy that we've had, is we're going for at minimum month-to-month leases, month-to-month agreements. We call them agreements, not leases. Get everybody in there at a minimum month-to-month. That's the goal. But as we're doing that, we're backfilling the apartments that aren't full with short-term rentals. And so we have 50% of our units that have month-to-month or longer, 3 to 6 month people. And then at the same time, like Andrew said, we're listed on Expedia, on booking.com, on Airbnb, VRBO. And the other 50% of the units are just getting short-term guests in. And it's obviously a higher rate than when you average it out, it's a higher rate than what a long-term rental would be. But it's a great mix. And what that does is it lowers our operating expenses from what a typical hotel would be. It's a typical hotel, you have so much churn. For us, you cut out 50% of that churn because you have month-to-month people in half of your units. And at the same time, you're getting the upside of having those short-term units fill up with people. And so it's been a great blend. We hope to perfect the short-term even more. It would be fantastic if we if we did have the majority of our units with month-to-month, and then the short-term units constantly churning out. But that balance of a hybrid, long-term, short-term, and the operations that we're running to really just try to keep it as occupied as possible with both long-term and short-term has been great. It's been great, and we only see it growing from here.
Totally. And Jacob, something that we should also share, I'm sure a lot of you have this question, well, how do long-term people even jive with short-term people? Because, if you were asked, do you want to live next to a unit that has people coming in and out every single day, you probably don't want to do that. So a lot of people ask, and investors even ask us, how are the long-termers getting along with the short-termers? And the answer to that is strategic placement of our residents. We strategically place them in areas or wings where they're, a common resident type. So for example, the McAllen property, we have all the long-term individuals on the west wing, the short-term on the east wing. And the way it's built actually works because one whole side is just short-term. So
we've had zero complaints. Not one person has complained about the short-term traffic that's living there long-term.
And it's awesome. And we do ask, as you see on the slide, community engagement, we do ask, hey, what are your thoughts? How do you like your stay? What could we improve upon? What could be better? And we're open to that feedback. If you're not open to the feedback, you're probably not going to improve your business model. And then last but not least, housing policies, just policies for the municipality. You know, every county is different. Every city is different. Just got to make sure you're following that, staying up to date, making sure you're paying the hotel tax. You know, that could get you. Some people that jump into this game, they have people staying at their place less than 29 days, but they're not paying hotel tax on it. That could bite you. You want to be honest. So we have the software and the systems and the accounting crew to ensure that we're on top of it. But you put that together, you put a team together. We're about to embark on hundreds of units here pretty soon. I'm very excited to share that with y'all. And we got to button up a few items before we disclose any more data. But we have done a great job understanding this new hybrid model with its higher revenue and lower OpEx that we're about to launch. Something pretty great on much larger properties. So big kudos to our team and to everyone involved, to everyone working with us. It's been a long time coming, but it's been a lot of hard work and it's been very rewarding. Really appreciate everyone joining us today. If you have questions or concerns or comments or curiosities, or you want to pick our brain, that's a very popular term in real estate. I want to pick your brain. Post it here. Send us an email, send us a message. We're on all the social media channels. And we're here every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to change here pretty soon. Arizona is not a daylight savings state. So we never change time. So it's going to change for me when the time change occurs. I don't even know when that is, man. I think it's in November, but
it's weird that we change times. I don't know why we do it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anything is good about changing times. I hate when it gets dark.
Yeah. Got to save that daylight, man. Got to save it.
Yeah. I remember I grew up in Minnesota, and I just remember it was like I was getting out of school. It was like I went to school, it was dark. And I got out of school at like 3:30 or 4, and it was dark. And I didn't even see the sun ever. I'm like,
oh, wow.
This is terrible. So I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Rather have it be lighter longer.
Right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. That concludes our live webinar. We will catch you next week at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome to your new home in McAllen, Texas.
This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this Motel 2 apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee.
Y no se preocupe, nosotros hablamos español. Go ahead and go to studiosonfourth.com, check out the floor plans that we have available, and submit your information. And just a friendly reminder, we have everything included: sewer, water, trash, electric, utilities, even fiber, high-speed internet. Submit your info and we'll get back to you. Welcome home.